Hello Cubids, and welcome to another Rubik's Cubing video by the Outback Cuber. In this video I will be teaching you how to solve the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. Before we get into this, I will talk about my cube a little bit. It is the Rubik's Cube branded speed cube that came in a kit with lubricant and a manual and a stand and some new washers and springs. I have actually replaced the washers in here and it's made it a lot faster and better. Alright, so let's get into it. I'm just going to give mine a shuffle up. Alright, so before we get into solving the cube, I'm just going to teach you what each of the pieces and, well, the cube itself. So this piece here is called the centerpiece and it doesn't change. So it will always be in this same order as you can see now on your solved cube. Or, well, unsolved, you know. These, I believe, are called middle pieces. And they cannot go to the side pieces and they have two colours. And these are called side pieces. They have three colours. And yeah, they're just called side pieces. So the sides, so with white facing up, this side is right, so that's right clockwise, that's right counterclockwise. Left, left clockwise, left counterclockwise. Up or top, so top clockwise, top counterclockwise. This is down or bottom, so down clockwise, down counterclockwise, I believe. This is back, so back clockwise, back counterclockwise, and this is front, so front clockwise, front counterclockwise. So yeah, let's shuffle this up and get into learning how to solve it. Right, so the first step in solving the 3x3 is to get the white daisy. So like we can already see here, we've already started this white daisy. So what you have to get is all the white middle pieces on the around the outside of the yellow centerpiece. So to do this, you basically just find, for example, I've got the red yellow piece here. You find it, then you twist it, then you twist the piece so that it is facing underneath or on the face, like where you want it to go. So for example, this white red, you can twist it down like that so that it's on the same face that you need to get to there, and then all you can do is just twist it up. Okay, so it's pretty simple. You'll learn how to do quicker, get quicker at this. So here's a blue, so blue white, so you can see here that it is already on the correct face and it is underneath. Well, not under, but you know, on the same on the same rotation piece as it needs to go. So all you do is twist it up and in, and there you have it. Now, so if we get a piece like the white and orange right here, where if you twist it up, it'll break this. All we have to do is twist the top until this piece, this orange-white piece, is underneath the face where it has to go, and twist it up. So there's that. And then after you've done that, what you have to try and do, what the aim is to line up, like this is already done, the centerpiece and the middle piece of the same color. So for green, these two are lined up, so that's good. And then all you have to do is spin the face with the completed side, with the completed two colors, twice, like so. So it fits on the white side. Now you move along to the next one. Either way, it doesn't really matter. And twist it. I'll go this way because it's not completed. You twist the top face until it completes. Then you do the same. 1, 2. You go again until it completes. 1, 2. And again until it completes. 1, 1, 2. So, and then there we have the white cross. Alright, so the next step in this tutorial is solving the white face. So to do this, we need to solve each one of these pieces. Now to do this, there is an algorithm that you can use or you don't have to use, but I find it, if you've got a cube like mine, you can do it pretty quickly, and it's pretty easy to remember. So what you have to do is you have to find any piece, a piece with white on it, a corner piece with white on it, and you have to look at these two other colours. So if, for example, if they're red and green like mine, you have to find the red and green corner, so that's here. See, like the white green middle piece and the white red middle piece, and you have to move the corner piece, so right here, you have to move this white, red and green corner piece above where it needs to go. So this piece needs to go here, so we can see that it is above. Then you want to do the formula right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. And you want to keep doing that until the piece solves. So right, top, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. Right, top, right counterclockwise, top counterclockwise. Right, top, right counterclockwise, top counterclockwise, right, top, right counterclockwise, top counterclockwise. As you can see, that has been solved. So now you've got the completed corner with the red, red, green, green. Now what you need to do next is find another corner with white on it. So this is here. Now if it's like this and it's not in the correct position, you have to do that formula once to get it out of there. So for example, right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. And you can see now that it is out of that position and it has been replaced. So then what you can do is move it to above where it needs to be. So the white red and white blue are in between them. So the white, red and blue is above, this piece. And then you just do the formula. Alright, so and then that will solve. So and then you just repeat the same for the rest of the corners. So here we have orange, blue, white, and you have to move it above the spot where it has to go, which is in between the white, orange and white, blue. And then you do the same formula. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise. And that one's solved in the first go. And then you find the final piece and move it above the final unsolved and do the same formula. Right, up, right counterclockwise, up. And there you have it. The white face is completed. Just like that. If you get better at that, you can do it pretty fast. And yeah, it's pretty simple to remember. Alright, so we are now up to the third step, I believe, of solving the Rubik's Cube. So by now you should have the completed yellow side with the completed sides, top layer. So you should have the top layer fully completed. And now we are going to work on completing the second layer. So to do this, you have to flip your cube so that the white side is on the bottom. And we have to try and get the pieces into these spots, into this spot with the pieces that have to belong. So to start this, you have to find a piece, a middle piece, one of these, with no white, with no yellow, sorry. God, I'm all over the place. So, I've got this piece, so red and blue. So what I have to do is I look at the colour that is facing outwards, so facing towards me, and I have to line it up with that, with the line. So for example, this one, red, you have to line it up so that it makes a line in the red, just like that. And for example, if I was trying to solve this blue and orange, I'd make a line with the blue. The green and red, I'd make a line with the green. So let's just stick to this one. And then you look at the second colour. You'll become faster at this the more you practice. And this second colour is blue. So we look which side blue is on. So blue is on the left side to the red. So what we have to do, we have to distinguish which way it is. So this is, you have to get this piece in there. So what we have to do is we turn this top layer away from where it has to go. So for example, this piece, you'd twist down to here because it is then on the opposite side of its top colour. So yeah, that's main goal. Put it the opposite side of your top colour. And then you have to do the formula. You have to, put it across. Then you do left, counterclockwise, up, left, up, then the front, up counterclockwise, front counterclockwise. So we see here that this is now solved. This is different to when, for example, let me try and find an example. This one, for this, is different to when you have to put this piece on this side. Well, it's kind of the same formula, just sort of flipped. So I'll do this piece. So make the line, look at the colour, put it opposite, and make sure that these are opposite each other. And then you do the formula, right, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, front counterclockwise, up, and then front. So then we have fixed these two. And then you just do that for the final two. So you find another piece. So here it is, the green and orange. You make the line, then you twist it opposite the green, and because it is to the right this time, you do the formula left counterclockwise, up, left clockwise, up clockwise, front clockwise, up counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. And then that has solved that piece. Now for the final piece, you have to twist it to the right again, and you do the same formula. Left counterclockwise, up clockwise, left clockwise, up clockwise, front clockwise, up counterclockwise, then front counterclockwise. And there we have the two layers. So just remember, when you are putting it to the right, you do the left, you do this side, but when you're putting it to the left, you do this side. So you go no, then that. You will get a lot faster at that. And yeah, that's how you solve the second layer of the Rubik's. That's how you solve the second layer of the Rubik's Cube. So the next step in solving the Rubik's Cube is you're going to try and get the yellow cross. Mine happened to solve once I'd finished getting the second layer done, but yours might not have. Yours might be looking a bit like this, or maybe where there's yellow sort of lightning, a yellow lightning, or you might just have a bar across there, which you can see the pictures on the side of that. So I'll teach you this example when you get the backwards L. There is a formula to get the cross from getting the backwards L and the bar. So when you get the backwards L, you might get it in like a sort of pattern like this, or like this, or just like this. But what you have to do is you have to position this L in the top left hand corner. No matter what instance you get, whether you get this or this, it has to be in the top left hand corner. And you have to do the formula front clockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. And there we have the cross, just like that. Alright, so the second instance you can get is if you get this bar just here. You may end up with like that, or like, yeah, so either vertical or horizontal. But what you have to do to be able to solve the cross is you have to put it horizontally to you, so that it's like this. And then, just like with the L, backwards L, you have to do the formula front clockwise, right clockwise, up clockwise, right counter clockwise, up counterclockwise, and then front counterclockwise. So there we have the cross, just like that. Alright, so now we're up to solving the actual yellow side. You should by now have finished the first layer, the second layer, and you should have a cross like that in the yellow. Alright, so to solve the yellow cross, there is actually only one formula, but you have to do it to a couple of instances. So for first, there's this instance, which is where you've got the cross with nothing else on its face but these, like that. Or you may just have like no two things paired, you might just have them all different. If you get that, all you have to do is put one, make sure it's facing to the left of you, so facing away but on your left. And you have to do the formula right clockwise, up clockwise, right counterclockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up twice, then right counterclockwise. And then you'll almost always get the fish. And then what you have to do, well, I call it the fish at least. Then what you have to do with the fish is point it into the bottom left hand corner and do the same formula. So right, up, right counterclockwise, up, right, up twice, and then down. And that should solve your yellow face. So what you might get is sort of this T with the two out the side here. What you have to do here is point these two. One, you have to make sure one is pointing in this bottom corner or the top, but one has to be pointing to the left, so to the left of you, and you do that same formula. Or also what you might get is you might get where it's all solved except for this piece and this piece, or this piece and this piece. And then what you have to do is you have to point one of the pieces that aren't solved to the left and do the formula. So right, up, right counter, up, right, up two, and then right counter. And then you get this piece, and then you get this, and you know how to solve this. So you put the 2 to the left, or this to the left, then you solve it. And then you're good as gold. Basically, a good hint is you always got to have a piece facing the left, except for when you get a fish, and then you have to have that facing the bottom left. So that's pretty simple to remember. Always have a piece that's not solved facing the left unless you get the fish, and then you just point it to the bottom left. Alright, cool. Time to move on to the next step. Alright, so this next step is solving and correctly aligning these corner pieces. So what you should get is either a solved, two corners solved on the same face, or no corners solved. Doesn't matter if you get no corners, you'll just have to repeat the formula twice, aligning the two colours when you get them after the first formula. So I'll show you what I mean after I've given you this little tip, or shown you how to do this part. So if you have two corners that are solved like this, what you can do, you just pop them on their correct face so that it looks a bit like this, or you may have a complete solved bar. So you just put them on so that you just align it so that they line up and they're completely solved. So that goes there and that goes there. So just align it so that it's solved. Put it at the back and then do the formula. Right counterclockwise, front, right counterclockwise, back to, right, front counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, back to, now right to. And then you have got all of the corners aligned correctly. Now if you didn't get a pair of corners that aligned and that weren't solved, all you have to do is just do the formula as is. No, you don't have to align anything, and then that should produce two aligned corners, and then all you have to do is align them and do that formula. So the formula may look hard, but once you remember, it's fairly easy to remember. So I'll show you what I mean in fast on this cube. See how I've solved it. So basically it looks a bit like this. If my cube didn't lock up, that's what it looks like. So it's fairly quick. I can do it faster on this because this is my speed cube and this one's just my normal. But it's fairly easy to remember once you know the motions. So yeah. Alright, so the next step, I guess. Alright, so now we've got the final step in solving your 3x3 Rubik's Cube. It is, put that one to the side, aligning the colours in the correct position. So, what you may have got is something where there's no side solved or one side solved. Or if you're lucky, you may even have the entire cube solved. If you have no side solved, you just have to do one of the two formulas I'm about to show you once to get it looking a bit like one of these. Or maybe not the same colours, but you know, pretty much like one of these. So what you have here is two dots on the face that are solved incorrectly. I know these look different, but the only thing different about them is the way you have to move these pieces. So in this one, you have to move them clockwise, so you have to move them in that direction, whereas this one you have to move them counterclockwise, so in that direction. Now they are two different formulas. So let me do the clockwise one first. So for this, the formula, you have to distinguish whether it's clockwise or not. So to do this, you can just twist it, and if this one lines up with that, then yes, it's clockwise. So you put the completed face to the back, and you do the formula, right to, up, right, clockwise, up clockwise, right counter, up counter, right counter, up counter, right counter, up clockwise, right counter. And there you have your clockwise solved. Now if you get this, where it's counterclockwise, and when you twist it, they line up, but they're not that direction, but they're counterclockwise, you do the same. You put this face at the back, and you do the formula right, up, right clockwise, up counterclockwise, right clockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up clockwise, right clockwise, up counterclockwise, right counterclockwise, up counterclockwise, and then right twice to solve the cube. There we have it. They're fairly easy to remember because they pretty much flow quite a bit. And just remember, if you didn't get any sides solved, so they were just like this, you just do one of the formulas and it should work. Or what you can do also to make sure it will work is, you see the two pieces, for example, if this one was red and this one was green, you'd put one to the front and one to the left. Alright, so now you've got your solved Rubik's Cubes. Those last two formulas are easy to remember because they pretty much flow through your hands. And whilst you're doing them, they flow. Just remember that if you haven't got any solved sides, you do as I said before, you put them like that and do the formula. Don't forget to like, subscribe, because it's all very helpful. And if you haven't done so already, follow my Instagram.